You can support this show at patreon.com/ASAPodcasting. Hello, welcome back, Skyrim Addict podcast. I'm Michael, and Ray is joining me tonight.
Hello.
Victor may be along later. Well, we'll talk about this later, but I saw a trailer for No Man's. I guess, what is it, the next...
The Light Snow Fire?
Yeah. No. The actual, for No Man's Sky, was it?
Oh, for the update.
Yeah, for the update. It was, it popped on my YouTube.
There you go. Yeah, the Adrift update.
Yep, I saw that. So I decided to start another new character, as we do.
Yeah.
Because I was watching, I want to pull up the YouTube channel, sorry. Because I was watching a YouTube channel that was going through some Xbox mods. And they were doing alt-start mods. So I was like, and then there was a few on there that I was like, oh, I haven't really used that one. I've never really tried that one out. So there was one, Thalmor Start, which is the one I used this time, which allows you to start as a Thalmor. Yeah, so the name of the YouTube channel is the number 2. Wow, I need reading glasses too, by the way. The number 2 chill-4 debate. The number 4 debate gaming. So they do some nice little like mod reviews and stuff. Cool. I think they're mostly Xbox mod reviews, but it may be a little mixed, but I think it's more Xbox ones. But
so 2 chill for gaming.
Yes.
Gotcha.
You should be able to. They're not super long videos, but I thought they were pretty good. There was some. They did a top 10 list of alternate start mods. Obviously, Live Another Life was on there. Surprise. Realm of Lorcan, of course, which feels like a whole nother game as opposed to a start mod. And what was it? There was alternate view. Is that what it is? Alternate perspective, which you start in Helgen, but you're not in the carriage. You're watching everything from the town as it happens.
Yeah, I played a mod like that, and I couldn't possibly remember the name of it. But you started out and you were inside the inn there in Helgen, and then you came out onto the deck with all the people that are standing there watching.
That may be this one, yeah.
And you would watch the carriage come in, and then everybody go out and go to the chopping block.
Yeah, this one you spawn in a isolated cell resembling one of the rooms in the Helgen Inn, where you can create your character and all that. Blah blah blah. Once fully equipped, talk to dragon on the lantern as you do, and you have a variety of choices on how to start for this one. So I guess the alternate perspective, Helgen is fully rebuilt, proper town and pathways and stuff like that. And then I guess you watch then Alduin destroy it.
Yeah.
So I do want to play around with that one next time. But the Thalmor one was more interesting to me because I was like, oh, it would be fun to play as a Thalmor and see how it affects like later parts of the main quest, especially.
Yeah, because there on the Live Another Life, there's a start where you can start inside the Thalmor embassy.
Yes, I've definitely done that.
You're not factioned with the Thalmor or anything. You're just, you have to be a high elf and able to choose it, and then you can just, go from there. Yeah.
This one. So you start in Northwatch Keep. Everybody is Thalmor friendly to you. They tolerate you. They're not enemies. They're like, what do you want? basically, essentially. And there's a is it like a smith or somebody there you can trade with, essentially, as well. So you can actually use Northwatch Keep as like your home base.
Okay.
So that is something too. The one thing I didn't get to do was who's imprisoned up there from Whiterun? Whose son is that? Is it the Greymanes? Or is it the
Yeah.
not the
It's because it's the one where the woman is mad because her son is missing.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So I didn't get to do that. That never kicked off for me. So I don't know if there was something that I didn't do that didn't cause that to go off or whatever. But so I started that. I had cheat room, so I set myself up as like level 25 because I was just going to go directly into the main quest. So I wanted to make sure I had a character to play through and do stuff with. And I decided to just wear my Thalmor gear with the, was it Vokun mask? I think that's the one that gives you like 20% on like destruction and alteration or something like that. So that was my like gear, and I was like, oh, well, now let's see what, how this goes. So I kind of like the whole Northwatch part was pretty fun, where you could go back there and use it as almost like a player home in a way, because everybody's, nobody's aggro with you or anything.
Right.
But you really don't come into any Thalmor and you know where I come into? Esbern. So it's very weird because I go to Riften, I do the speech check, and I'm able to get around having to pickpocket and all that stuff for what's his name? From the Thieves Guild. Yeah, Brynloff. Yeah. So I get the information, I go find Esbern, and I just walk right through because all the Thalmor down there are friendly.
Oh.
So I can just walk right through.
And they let you take Esbern out?
Or did they try to kill him? Actually, the only people who tried to kill me were the other prisoners.
Oh, okay.
You know how if you open it,
if you accidentally or purposefully open the game.
If you accidentally open one of their cells, as I may have done, that does happen. But Esbern was fine too. We walked right out, and
I guess Esbern would be a companion at that point.
Yes, so because they're not attacking me, they're not attacking him, is what I assumed. Yeah. So that was I was like, oh, that makes sense, because I'm, he may have questions after we leave there, and nobody is. We've walked right past multiple Justicars and other.
No, I'm just Dragonborn. Everything's cool.
Totally fine. Nothing to see here. The Greybeards had no questions when I walked in there either, with all my Thalmor getup on and completely undisguised. Oh, also because I opened up everything on the map ahead of time. Obviously, I was working for the Thalmor, so obviously I should have had a complete map.
Sure.
So I fast traveled to see if Parthenax was up there. He's not up there until you have to actually, even after I got the quest to go do the clear skies and go up to see him, if you fast travel past it before doing any clear skies, he's not there until you do a clear skies shout.
Gotcha.
I was like, oh, that's actually interesting. I didn't know how they would do that, but how that mechanic worked exactly. But
so they make you do at least one clear sky shout to get Parthenax. I gotcha.
Yeah, because then that ends that quest once you do that, I guess, technically, once you hit clear skies the first time. I was then able to, I did fast travel past it, and he was there. So that worked out fine. But and then the other Thalmor part was the embassy, where I created the diversion as you do, and just walked right through and got what I wanted. Problem came in when I had to get out. So I was like, oh, I wonder if I can just go out the main gate. But you can't, because there's no key. So I walked back outside, So after I left the reception hall, essentially, where you're having the party, walk across to where the jail cell is. Just walked right in, got what I wanted, walked downstairs, took the thing out of the chest, took the Esbern journal out of the chest, or dossier out of the chest. I was like, okay, I got what I needed. Malborn came in with the 2 guards. They didn't do anything. They were just standing there. Malborn's like, help, help. But they didn't attack him, nothing. I was like, all right, let me leave, see what happens. So I left to see if I could get out from the outside, like I thought. And I'm looking around, and there was just no way for me to get out. Yeah. I wonder if I don't know if I could have went back. Oh, no, you know what it was? I couldn't go back through the kitchen to get to the other side of that building.
Oh, yeah, because that door is a load screen, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, and he locks that door when he leaves.
Gotcha.
He's like, I'm locking this behind you. You can't come back this way. So there is no way back through there to get to the front side of the building where you would be able to exit the compound.
Right.
So I was like, all right. I was like, I guess I have to pickpocket somebody and get the key for the secret exit. So I eventually figured out which guard had it, pickpocketed them, and just left and left both guys there. Well, I freed the one guy, but they killed him immediately. So apparently he doesn't like become a follower. He's on his own, I think.
Gotcha.
Because he does run off once you get in the
he'll
cave.
Go
he
ahead
runs
of you,
off
for sure.
Yeah. So I pickpocketed the key and got out of there, and I was like, oh, that was a different way of experiencing it. I don't think there's any more. I don't think there's really any more Thalmor stuff after that. That's kind of the end of the Thalmor stuff for the main quests, I think. Because after that, I learned the other shout. Oh, I did also do the world's most annoying round table with Ulfric and the gang. I did do that. I was like, I wonder how it'll affect this. So let me go try that. Really didn't affect it at all because nobody's fighting there. So you're just, setting up the next, segment of the game. Yeah. And then I don't think there's any more Thalmor things after that. And there's not a lot of big Thalmor quests. So
yeah,
I was trying to think of where else I could test it out at. And other than freeing the one guy, I don't know.
Yeah, there's the quest you can do for Elisith where you can take her, you can take Torig's stuff to the Talos shrine.
Yeah.
And those Thalmors will jump you there.
Yep. Yeah, I wonder if those would still jump you. That might be possible. I could try that one actually. Because that's the only other one I can because I was trying to think of like where can I go test this where there's like some, but you really, other than going to the embassy, you don't really, or seeing them on the road and stuff.
Yeah, not a lot of interaction.
There's not like a lot of interaction back and forth with stuff. So I was like, and which I'd never realized before until I was, deciding exactly what to do with the mod.
Yeah. And you never really think about it because it's like, you know, they're jerks. Yeah. Why would you want to interact with them?
They're there, it's like, but they're always around, but you're like, do you ever really deal with them? They don't come into they're not in Markarth when you do the chalk rubbing, are they? That's not them, right?
No.
No. That's the guards out there, right?
Yeah.
There's no. Yeah, and I didn't. So when I was like planning it out, I'm like, I like the main quest was really the main thing I would have to do because it would make the most sense because you at least have the Thalmor embassy and the whole Esbern part of it, escape from prison, where you at least interact with the Thalmor. So yeah. Other than that, you don't. I because I'm like, wait, where can I go where they're like hanging out? And I'm like, there's just not even. They're just walking down the road.
Yeah, I mean that fort is really the only other place you interact with them.
Yeah, Northwatch, the embassy, and random road encounters, and that's it. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, they're actually not as ingrained in everything as as it seems when you're playing the game. It seems like they're a much greater presence than they actually are when you try and figure out a way to play as one of them. Yeah. So I had a lot of fun with that. That was it was like a fun, different way to go through the main quest. I did it like as best I could, playing it as a Thalmor spy, pretending to be Dragonborn, who maybe is Dragonborn but doesn't really realize it, and just a Thalmor going through the motions to get the information they need, because they don't know apparently anything about the dragons either. So there is that. And I was using chain lightning, and I had a staff of Storm Atronach. So I was like straight up lightning the whole way. So that was kind of fun too. Although chain lightning can get a little messy because it hops into different things.
Yeah. Now, is that the one that can shock you back?
Does that one? I think
there's one of them. It's probably added by a mod. It's like wild lightning or something like that.
Oh, yeah. That one. Yeah. I think
it'll there's a chance that it'll come back and hit you too. It just kind of goes crazy all over the place.
Oh God. Yeah.
You don't use it in close spaces
because it'll just bounce around and hit. No, thankfully this does not do that. I wasn't vanilla, obviously, because it was modded, but for everything else, I was basically vanilla.
Gotcha.
Other than like some graphics stuff and things like that. It was pretty bare bones just to kind of see what the alt start kind of would be, and how playing is just simply through the main quest would be as like a Thalmor in the game, which I thought it would be more exciting, to be fair. But it was fun trying to figure out ways around things when you weren't fighting your way through.
Right.
Which was like, oh, this is a little different.
Yeah, it's always interesting to go through those because it gives you different layers to, you know how to play your next character.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I do want to try that alternate like viewpoint thing or whatever, alternate perspectives.
Yeah,
because that would be fun to see. Start in Helgen, see how it is, and then walk out the door and have that go down.
Yeah, and if I remember right, the character that replaces you in the cart is a Khajiit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Poor kitty. Yeah. So I guess with that one, you watch like the carriage roll into town and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be. I'm gonna have to see with that. I always, and when I saw the list and I saw Realm of Lorcan on there, I'm like, I need to like go mess around with that some more.
The fun thing I did with Realm of Lorcan was I just tried to see how far I could get into the game before I left.
Oh, yeah. How far you could.
Because you can, there's all those alchemy ingredients and all the smithing stuff. And there's just so much you can do inside the realm before you ever leave and go. So that one's always a trip.
Yeah, that's like it's almost like a side quest before the game starts to just like explore this whole other world. I would like to, because I only tried it a couple times when it first dropped, and it's just so much there. You feel like you've gone everywhere, and you're like, wait, I didn't ever go over here.
Yeah. Did I go down and become a vampire? Nope. Oh, okay. There's that space too.
And then some of them are like hard to get to, and then if you fall off, you got to start over, and there's all kinds of.
It took me forever to figure out how to get to the Thief Stone.
Oh, that's right, because that's real hard, right?
Yeah, you got to jump up and climb up on these barrels, and then get up on the pergola and walk along the edge, and then do a big jump to get to the other side, and Skyrim is such a flawless parkour game that
yeah,
that's a piece of cake.
Yeah.
And then it's always funny because when you fall off the world, you fall through space, and then you get teleported back to the starting point.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you know how good it is if you remember when we played what was it, Wheels of Lull, and we had to climb the branches.
Oh, that was
climbing
miserable.
Those giant vines, and it was like you couldn't tell if your feet are on the vines, are they in the air, are you going straight? It's yeah. It was like the old King's Quest 1 when you had to walk through the clouds and slay a dragon. It was the end of that game. You had to walk the steps with the arrow keys going back and forth and hoping you got straight up them.
Oh,
or you fell off. That's kind of what Wheels of Lull felt like walking up those
that was
up those
an experience.
Learned a lot that day.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, that was kind of all I did in Skyrim. I was playing a little around with some Minecraft and stuff, but seeing what some stuff I hadn't seen in that game, some things that have changed over the past couple of years that I haven't really played around with. But other than that, I tried to find our old Fallout Minecraft realm.
Oh yeah.
But for some reason the save doesn't have all the stuff we built.
Oh shoot.
And there was all kinds of stuff built in there by everybody. And I was like, oh, it would be cool if I could find it and then just like do a tour of it. But because that was back before Fallout 4 came out. Or was it 4 or 76?
I think it was before 76.
Before 76, you're correct. Yeah. Hello.
Hey.
Victor.
Sorry I'm late. I had stuff.
We were just talking about being Thalmor agents.
Oh, excellent.
And also how the Thalmor really aren't in the game as much as you think.
No, they just have just get in your face a lot.
Yeah. They're always around, but not a lot to do with them.
Yeah.
That was what I discovered with the alt start mod. That basically it was Northwatch Keep, the embassy, the party, and helping Esbern escape.
So which alt start?
Thalmor start.
That's okay. That choice in the alt start. Yeah, I've never tried that.
This is this whole separate mod.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So it literally makes every Thalmor friendly to you.
Oh, okay.
Which was different, or as friendly as they can be. Whatever.
Yeah,
it's a relative term.
Yeah. That was it would be hard to integrate it more than that, wouldn't it? You'd have to sort of rewrite the whole game in order to.
Yeah, they're just kind of the bad guy, but they're not really in the game.
Yeah.
Weirdly, much. They're not really doing that much other than just being assholes all the time.
Yeah, like your fascist uncle.
Yeah. They're just always walking down the road with somebody in cuffs, and they're always.
That's right. Yeah.
Just showing up. I was like, but they don't really have any like dedicated quests or anything. Weirdly enough.
Yeah, come to think of it, that's true. They don't. No. Yeah, I just always try to get done with them as quickly as possible because they're just annoying.
Well, I would recommend Thalmor Start. Then you could walk right through the embassy and get whatever you want, and nobody even bothers you.
Yeah, I usually wait if I'm going to do that quest line. I usually wait until I'm powerful enough just to lay waste to everything when I'm walking there.
Right. Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, it's over. It's over quickly.
Poor Malborn is actually still stuck in the embassy. He never got to leave.
Oh.
And nobody killed him, so he's just standing in the interrogation room right now,
standing facing a corner like the end of Blair Witch Project or something. Yeah.
Help me.
Yeah.
Not going anywhere.
Oh, well, poor Malborn. I mean, even if you set him free, he just sort of ends up going nowhere and doing nothing. And the prisoner guy usually gets killed anyway, right? When he runs away. I've tried to follow him a couple of times.
Malborn I helped was a couple months ago. Remember, I found him again in the he's in the inn in Windhelm.
Okay.
And then there's an assassin after him, and you can help him by stopping the assassin and helping him escape Skyrim.
Oh, is that vanilla or is that added?
No, that was vanilla. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I had never come across it before. I randomly ran into him because I never go into that inn. There's nothing there for me. It's the one in the not the main one in Windhelm, the other district.
Oh, the Corner Club.
The new nicest Corner Club. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
That's it.
All right.
Huh. So I rarely go in there, and I happened in there, and there he was. I was like, "Oh, hey." He's like, "Oh, thanks."
Cool.
Thanks a lot for all your help.
Yeah.
I was like, "You are still alive. I don't know why you're complaining."
Thanks for ruining my life. Well, that's sort of what he says at the very beginning, isn't it? You know.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah. But that was pretty much all I had done in the game, other than I was saying I had played a little Minecraft. That was about it. But
what did Andrew say that he was playing? He mentioned something in the
survival, right?
Yeah.
A new survival character.
Survival mode.
Hope it wasn't cold out.
He played as an Argonian.
Oh God!
Good Lord!
Cold-blooded. Oh man. Oh.
He's like, I don't understand. I just am always cold.
Yes. Well. Yeah, there's that blood thing.
Bright sunny day. I walk outside and I get the little snowflake symbol.
Frozen. Yeah. You can't even swim, which is the only good thing you have going for you.
Exactly. I told him, I said, so Argonians are the only race that have only a negative effect from survival mode. Everything else has got some positives. But the Argonians have no positives whatsoever.
Yeah.
And the negative takes away the one race positive that they have, which is swimming underwater.
Yeah, you can't even swim, which is the one good thing you can do to go down and escape or explore underwater. Or I mean, basically go to Pilgrim's Trench. I don't know where else you're heading to other than that underwater, actually. So there is that.
The only time I ever really tried playing as an Argonian was when I really, really, really wanted to find that silly quill. The quill. And I still couldn't find the frickin' thing. So I don't think I've ever found it in the game.
I think in the beginning it was almost impossible to find. I think they did update it, and it is a little easier to find than it was when the game first came out. It was like you had to search the whole damn lake to try and find the thing. Yeah.
Was it the Quill of Gemination or something like that?
Yeah. And now it's like next to a chest or something like that, or some other object it's next to.
Oh, okay.
And to make it a little easier to find. But yeah, I remember like in the beginning doing that quest, and you're like, what? There's no way I can find this thing. I haven't done that in a long time, though. Actually, now thinking about it, I haven't done is it the Thieves Guild where you have to burn the beehives?
Yeah,
the beehives. Yeah. It's been a while since I did that one.
Yeah. I haven't gone back to Skyrim since I basically trashed my Legacy the Dragonborn character and updated the game. I just don't want to do all the work involved in updating all the mods and everything.
Did you say you were in Valheim?
I've been playing Valheim pretty much consistently. Nice. We with the Ashlands coming out and everything. We Kate and Sean and I have been sort of jumping in and out of our server world, but we haven't really we've been kind of backpedaling on some things, because the more you progress in Valheim, the more mob spawns you get of enemies back at your home base and things like that. So we've been kind of backpedaling on that, just sort of enjoying running around, exploring.
So. Yeah, because as you level, it makes you have. If you don't level your base while you're leveling, your base just gets
essentially yes. You need to build, dig trenches, build high walls, and things like that. So Sean has built this immense plateau, which he's calling Masada, and dug huge trenches all the way around it. So now it's essentially impregnable.
Oh man!
Except by flying creatures. So.
They're flying ones from the Ashlands.
No, Mistlands has flying gas bag enemies.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And also the mountains biome has the drakes that fly.
That's right. The drakes. How could I forget? Yeah.
The drakes are pretty much non-entities. There's also death skeetos, but I don't think that the death skeetos spawn during mob attacks. So if you get a mob from the plains, you're going to get fuelings and fueling berserkers and things like that. And Shannon, but no death skeetos.
No skeeto. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think I got up to the plains on my character when I played. I didn't get beyond there.
Yeah.
Because Mistlands was after the plains, right?
Yes. The Mistlands was the first major biome update, and then the most recent one, which is Ashlands, which is all fire. And because the game shipped with the four main biomes, and now there's 6, and there's 1 more to go. Oh, actually 2. Supposedly there's going to be some ocean stuff, but who knows? It's just a great game just to spend an hour or 2 in the evening just running around exploring stuff.
Yeah,
that's really all it's good for. I mean, seriously, there's no real storyline. No. There will be. There's actually a sort of a quest line in between Mistlands and Ashlands. They did an update that added a character called Hildir, who's Haldor the Trader's, I don't know, sister or something. I don't know.
Okay.
And she has a quest line. And you get interesting clothes as rewards for completing her quest line. So I can only hope that at some point when they finally release this into full 1.0 release, that there will be an actual story to follow through. I don't know though.
Yeah, a story, it would add a little bit to the game for sure.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to run around and get good, as it were, and kill enemies and find things and store epic loot for hours and hours on end. But eventually, it sort of becomes a little bit empty, and you need to go back to a game like Skyrim or Far Cry or something like that actually has a story and a risk reward cycle.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm sticking to Valheim. I finished watching the Fallout series. So,
did you?
Yeah. I'm sure that's been amply talked about on other podcasts. So
we started a whole new feed for that.
Yeah. Well, what's the general, without having to rehash stuff you've already hashed? What's the general consensus of
positive?
Yeah.
Yeah, we enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it was a well done series.
Mm-hmm, I agree,
and a lot of fun.
I thought it got better as it went along too.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of,
build up. Yeah, because they couldn't just have it be where people that have played Fallout know what this is.
That's fair.
So they had to do a lot of build up to kind of catch everybody else up to some point.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Vivian liked it from the very beginning because she had no expectations whatsoever. She wasn't trying to relate it to Fallout because she doesn't play video games at all, and she liked it immediately. So, sort of the quirky humor and the interesting storyline. Yeah, I thought they did some really cool things with the some cool and interesting story twists.
I was looking for something new to do, so I came across this role-playing mod and loaded it up and jumped in and realized, wait a minute, this is a bait and switch. It was Requiem.
Requiem.
What version?
I don't even know. It was it was it was the version that right out the gate kicks your ass.
Oh, okay.
Oh God.
I made it. I made it through Helgen because if you stop and try to figure out what's going on and get your character organized and everything, everybody rushes through Helgen and takes out all of the enemies for you. So I did almost no fighting at all because I was. Wait, hang on, guys. I'm looting these bodies. Hold on just a second. But they're rushing off, cleaning out the next room. And so then I was on the road to Riverwood, and just by the skin of my teeth and jumping in the river, escaped the wolves without dying. Got to Riverwood, did all that kind of stuff. And then everywhere I tried to go out of Riverwood, I died.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
And it's like, you know what? I double checked. Okay. No, I put it, it's on adept. So it's not hard.
Oh, man.
And it was brutal. So I said, you know what? Not fun.
Yeah. Good.
So I kicked it to the curb. And then I, in some of the collections that I had downloaded, there were a bunch of Civil War mods. I'm like, cool. You know what? I haven't done the Civil War in forever. And I've got all these mods that, that are supposed to change it up and everything. And so I started up a character and I'm doing the Civil War. And also, I'd never really done anything as a battle mage. So that's what this character is. It's heavy armor, destruction magic in one hand and a sword in the other.
I like battle mage. It's a great character.
Yeah, it's definitely a kick butt way to go.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately one of the mods that I was really counting on making things interesting doesn't seem to have worked. So Skyrim at War Reborn was supposed to add a ton of soldiers to both sides. And so when you go to do a fort, there's supposed to be like hundreds of warriors involved in these, battles. But I haven't seen that work yet. So that mod's not working for whatever reason.
And that can cause a lot of crashes in my experience. Things that add lots of population, like the patrols, immersive patrols, and immersive some of those other mods that add multiple. You can end up with all kinds of
So I did have one kind of weird thing. So I was at the point I had taken the Jagged Crown to Tullius, and so then he sent me to talk to Balgruuf. And so I went there and talked to him, but when he told me to take the axe to Ulfric, the screen just kind of was, it wouldn't let me out. It wouldn't let me go into dialogue, nothing. It was just kind of stuck. Everybody was still moving around, but I couldn't tab out. I couldn't, escape to reload a save or anything.
Wow.
And so I was trying, console commands and, all kinds of stuff to try to get this thing figured out. And so I was stuck on that screen, and I was looking on another computer, reading all the different console commands. And then, it was probably at least 2 minutes later, I hear Balgruuf tell Abenici that he wanted him to get the parchment. And I looked over, and it was clear.
Wow.
Huh.
So it just took a really, really, really long time.
Oh, wow.
For him to finish up that thought.
A little bit of script lag there. Yeah.
And so I had reloaded several times. I'd bombed out completely, Control-Alt-Delete. But it just needed time. So there's a few other mods there that, that are adding some interest. So there's the Man Those Borders. I've got Civil War checkpoints, which is pretty cool because that puts checkpoints everywhere. There's a mod called Civil War Lines Expansion, so that everybody doesn't say the same thing to you over and over and over again.
Oh, that's a good one.
So that one's been nice. And then, a little more on the quirky side. So, the thing that got me started on the Battle Mage was Cyan's class mod, which if you start out as a Battle Mage, it gives you plus 25 Magicka and plus 25
Triumvirate? Is that the one he calls Triumvirate?
No, it's just called Cyan's class mod.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of made the Battle Mage a quick start. And then a couple of mods, animated ships. And so now when you're, anywhere near a big waterway, there's just these little sailing ships cruising around the bay, down
that's
the
cool.
rivers.
I like that.
And you can get on them and ride them.
Oh.
You can't steer them, though.
No. You can't steer them, and they're really, really slow. But then there's also one that's carriages. So now I've got carriages running all over the roads
cool.
in Skyrim,
That's
that are
really
carrying soldiers. Some of them are carrying passengers. Some of them are carrying, one of them, it was after the Dawn Guard started, there was somebody with a armored troll in the back of their cart.
Nice.
And so, you can hop on those too. But I recommend hopping off as soon as frostbite spiders come along. Because the carriage is moving so slow, you're just a sitting duck.
Oh, God.
But so that was kind of fun. Those were, just quirky mods that ended up, adding a nice little flavor to things.
Yeah, that's cool.
Making things interesting.
Yeah, you would think the ship one sounds neat because, when you're going up to Solitude, you feel like there should be more going on in the harbor or something, or
Yeah, it's supposed to be a busy trade route.
Yeah. Even if there was a few more little vessels coming in and out or whatever that you could, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. So I started off with the shipwreck alternate start. So I was just off the coast of Dawnstar, and I'm swimming to Dawnstar, and have to stop and wait for this ship to go by.
Yeah.
They couldn't even help.
Nah. Well, I mean, I could have got on, but they were going the wrong way. But
yeah, water taxis. That's not a bad idea. Also, the idea of having carriages running the roads, it's just would make it feel a little more alive too, other than just people wandering the roads. But
yeah. There's an old and rather venerable but complex mod called People of Skyrim that adds a lot of that stuff, but it's very finicky mod, so you have to follow the instructions very, very carefully. Otherwise, you'll just end up with nav mesh crashes and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and I added a whole bunch of mods, like this that just added a bunch of stuff, and so I thought for sure, that I was going to have just nothing but trouble. But fortunately, I've only maybe 18 hours of play, I've only had one crash.
Nice.
That's pretty good. Yeah. For that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right. But it's definitely, it's fun having Skyrim be a little more populated and, stuff going on. I've got the Civil War aftermath. So there's a lot of, people hanging from, pole arms.
Yeah.
And light posts and stuff. So.
Yeah. No, after the Civil War, it kind of just all goes away once you're done if you don't add that stuff.
I'm using, or I have used, not right now, but I have used. There's one mod at least that, and I apologize, I can't remember the name of it, but it slowly rebuilds places like Whiterun after the Civil War, so you won't have like little fires burning and wrecked trellises and things like that for the rest of the game. It'll eventually repair all that stuff. Heimskir's house sort of gets repaired and comes back.
Oh yeah, because you can't get in that once. Once you go through, and that never reverts back, does it?
No.
It's been so long since I played a full game where I would like have it still exist after. Yeah, because you lose that house for the rest, or that. Yeah, not that you can use it, but he's in there at least. But you lose that for the rest of the game, and I think the only thing that goes away is like the barriers in the front road, right?
Yeah, you can break them down too, but and I think the barriers between the,
with the different entryways in the city itself,
above the bannered mare there, where you go through that. Yeah, I think those go away, but essentially the damage doesn't get repaired unless you have a mod. Yeah.
So Ray, what have you any more information on the No Man's Sky trailer thing that I happened to see earlier for the next? Is that the next expedition? Is that what it is?
Yeah. So that started last Wednesday. And it's kind of a neat one because it's so you're in an alternate universe. And it's empty. And so you're the only one there.
Wow.
And it's really weird because normally there's little, Geks and Vikings and Korvaxes running around everywhere. Plus if you play on multiplayer, you see players. But now in this expedition, all the NPCs are gone, and the closest thing you can see to another player is a ship parked in the parking lot, and possibly there's a staff, I think, that persists, and so you can see this staff moving around. I never play with multiplayer turned on unless I'm doing something with the group. So I don't see them anyway, but I normally see all the NPCs. So, and then, they've added a bunch of new stuff with the expedition. They always add new ships and character customization parts and stuff like that.
Is there any more scuttlebutt about the next game?
The expectation at this point is that it'll get announced, an update will get announced at one of the, game conferences coming up.
Yeah.
So possibly a release date.
Nice.
But maybe not.
Yeah.
And then I've really been most of my gameplay has been in Starfield. With the new update that we got in May on that one, it adds more difficulty sliders.
Oh, okay.
And so, I'd gotten to the point where very hard wasn't hard enough anymore. And so now there's extreme.
Oh God.
And extreme is pretty extreme.
Extreme, yeah.
Oh man.
So I think they it's like 200%. They do 200% more damage, and you do 50% more damage.
Wow. And it doesn't feel like everything's a sponge?
Yeah, it kind of does.
That's been my problem with Legendary and Skyrim and some of the other ones. It's just there's no subtlety to it. It's just more hits basically. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
And they do have one thing that makes Extreme really easy. So they screwed up in the programming of their food and drink buffs. And so instead of doing 15% more sneak damage, you do 15 times sneak damage.
Oh, okay.
And so if you have your sneak maxed out and you're doing more than 4 times sneak damage, with this now you're doing 60 times sneak damage.
Wow.
Wow.
So even with the weakest gun, the strongest enemy goes down in one shot.
Yeah.
That showed up in the beta, but they didn't fix it. So
yet,
although, I kind of was thinking about it a little bit, and if you think about the sneak buffs that you get in Skyrim,
mm-hmm.
You can get some pretty high sneak damage, like 32 times, I think.
With the gloves, right?
Yeah, and the daggers and and all that stuff. So
Maroon's razor and all that. Yeah,
it's there's a reward for being sneaky.
Yeah,
I mean that's why everybody plays sneaky archers.
Yeah,
that's fair. It's fair. The sneaky double daggers, though, very deadly.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And it's more fun because you've got to get right up on them.
Yeah, you have to get close. There is no...
That's the Dishonored kind of gameplay. I always enjoyed that.
That's how I always love playing a Dark Brotherhood character. I feel like that's the appropriate way to play it.
Yeah. And then if you want to break that, you load Apocalypse and use Ghost Walk.
Was it Couch Warrior who did that, who figured out that incredible combination of spells?
Oh, where he could drop people, he was using runes.
Yes, but it was also it was in conjunction with Ghost Walk, I think, and a rune. So he'd do a Ghost Walk, drop a rune, and then jump back to where he was, and the person would just basically self-destruct. I don't remember. Yeah, it was quite effective.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
I have to go back and watch those again or listen to those again.
Yeah, because there was also the one where he would trade places with them, and
that's what I'm thinking of.
That would drop them onto the rune. And
that's what it was. It was the spell where you switched. Yeah. I do remember that now.
Yeah, that was quite clever.
Yeah.
Now that's a fun assassin play.
Yeah.
I did. I played along with that character that he created, and that was a wild illusion.
It was very dark, very, very dark. Yeah.
And there were some great moves.
Yeah. Oh well.
So, anything? Where are you guys at in Fallout at this point?
So we just wrapped up the Fallout 3 season. So we finished up the DLCs. That was a lot of fun. Had a lot of good participation.
Good.
we've got we were kind of dragging our feet for a while, and finally buckled down and had a brainstorming session. So now we have a working list of different ideas for roundtables. So
good.
There you go.
We won't be quite, I think it was almost a year between roundtables at one point.
Yeah.
So, we'll definitely shorten that up. Yeah, it was a fun season. Had a lot of good participation.
What was the DLC that ended if you did it, the game ended? Am I remembering that correctly for Fallout?
Well, that was the game. And then
that's right, the game. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then they added the DLC Broken Steel, which lets the game extend out past.
That's what it was. Yeah. I remember there was something like that with 3 where you could once the game ended, it ended, and that was it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so then Broken Steel added 10 more levels to the level cap and let you continue to play.
Mm-hmm. Trying to remember Broken Steel. That was like the Brotherhood one where you went to the city they were in. Where was it?
We didn't end up doing that one because we didn't want to have to do the main quest.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to do the whole main quest before you can
do
start
that one.
Broken Steel.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah, it's been a while since I played that, but I do remember that. It's weirdly quiet up here tonight.
Yeah, I don't see any cats.
Yeah, I was just thinking
that's got to be a little disnerving.
Yeah, I'm like, something's wrong.
There is mischief going on somewhere else.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I had some fun with my character. Ray had fun revisiting Requiem, apparently.
Yeah.
Ever so briefly.
Was it Dave that used to play with Requiem all the time from Scotland? McBeta?
Yeah, I think so. I think he liked Requiem. Yeah,
he slow played. I know that, and I think he played with Requiem.
Yeah,
and so I think I might play around with a little Realm of Lorcan since it's been a bit. I know we talked about it. I do want to definitely do that alternate perspective and see just the beginning of the game and see how it looks. But there was a warning that there was a possible crash in it, so we'll have to see if that's fixed or not. But that's all I have. I did move the feed for the show, so if there's been any issue with getting any episodes, let me know. But if there is, you're probably not hearing this anyway, so that's probably cool too. But so, if you did have any issue, or if you didn't notice it at all, then don't worry about it, because I just moved the host is all it was. So thanks. Make sure you check out the Fallout feed. Butcher Baker, Candlestick Maker in Space. Is it 3 A's or 4 A's? I think it's 3 A's. 3 A's, correct? Yes. And Dames Who Game, of course, and this show.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody.
And
for
Vault
listening.
Talk.
Yeah. Oh, Vault Talk. That's right. We added a separate feed for the Fallout TV show.
Nice.
For Vault Talk. So search Vault Talk, Fallout TV, Amazon, obviously. If they're in episode 4 or 5 now, something like that.
We just did 5.
5, right? Yeah.
So getting close to the end.
Yeah. And there was 8 episodes?
8,
as there is typically now. So check those out over at any podcatcher, of course.
Nice.
So thanks for listening, everybody.
Good night.
See you next time.
Sorry I'm late.
Take care. Better late than never.
Better late than never. Yep.